So, what is it like to go to the dentist in a foreign country? What is it like to deal with the anxiety associated with going to the dentist in a foreign country? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to share my impressions and experience going to the dentist for the first time here in France. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so that each time I post a video about living in France, moving abroad, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms, you will be notified. My name is Patricia Brooks, and almost 4 years ago, I left my job in the United States and I moved to the south of France, where I've been ever since. And it has been an incredible experience filled with some ups and some downs. And today I'm going to share with you a situation where I felt very anxious. And that was going to the dentist for the first time here in France. Now, it's true, I've been here almost 4 years, but this was my first visit to the dentist here. And that's because I had visited the United States a couple of times and took advantage of those visits in order to see my dentist, who I had been seeing for over 20 years. But this year, I decided that I wanted to find a dentist here in the event that I had an emergency. I would have a dentist and they would know who I was. So back in the summer, back in July, I called this dentist's office, who was referred to me by another expat friend, and I made an appointment. And the earliest appointment for cleaning was November. So that was the first thing that kind of took me aback a little bit. The amount of time that it took in order to get this appointment for cleaning. And I did say something to the receptionist, and she said, yes, if you had a dental emergency, we would fit you in. But since this is just for cleaning, this is the earliest that we had. And so I took it. So last week was my appointment. And I'll tell you, the day before, I was nervous. It was so strange. So what I did to kind of allay some of the fears and worries that I had was I took a dry run out to the dental office. I had a roundabout idea of where this office was, but I just wanted to know exactly where it was. So I took ride out there to see where it was. And it was a very nice looking office from the outside. And I felt a little bit better that at least I knew how to get there. So the following day, 9 o'clock in the morning, I arrive on time. And the receptionist / hygienist, perhaps, came to the door to let me in. And I told her who I was. And she asked me for my carte vitale, which is the health insurance card here in France, and I gave that to her. And I did not have to fill in any papers about my medical history. I did not have to sign in at the front desk. And so she took my carte vitale and she held on to it until the end of my appointment. She walked me back to the dentist's office, which was truly an office. There was a desk and a chair, and then there was the dental chair there. And so I went over to sit in the dental chair, and it was then that she asked me what medications I was on. Then, a minute later, the dentist comes in, and there was no introduction. There was no small talk, and he asked me if I was there for a détartrage. And I was not familiar with this word. And so I said, I'm here for cleaning. I said, nettoyer is the word I used. And he's like, détartrage? And I said, perhaps, I don't know what the terminology is. And then he said to me, oh, well, we can call it a cleaning if you want to. And I'm like, no. I want to use the proper terminology. I'm just not familiar with the word. So we settled on the fact that I was going to have this détartrage. And then there was no hygienist to come in to brush my teeth, polish my teeth with that flavored toothpaste. He got to work and he started taking the tartar off of my teeth. And after that, he took Xrays and he put the X-ray film in my mouth And he asked me, instead of to bite down on the little tab to hold it in place, he asked me to put my finger in my mouth and hold it like this, which was really kind of strange for me because usually I don't put my fingers in my mouth. So anyway, he took the X-rays. And the other thing that was strange about the X-rays were that in the United States, at my dentist office, I am suited up with this heavy lead vest that I actually love that part of the dentist appointment because it's heavy and it's comforting to me. But there was no lead vest. And in fact, when he pressed the button to take the X-ray picture, he did not leave the room or go behind a wall. He did move out of the way, but he was still pretty close. So I thought that was a little bit unusual. And that was my exam. And it took all of 10 minutes. He, at the end, did explain that my teeth looked pretty clean. And that was pretty much it. I did want to get a new mouth guard. I grind my teeth at night, and the mouth guard I have is kind of old and it was starting to break. And so I had brought that with me because I had no idea what the word for mouth guard was in French. So I brought that with me and I took it out and I held it up and I said, "J'ai besoin de celui-là." And he said, "Oh, un gouttière." And I said, "Routière?" He said, "No, gouttière." And then he took out a paper and pen and he wrote down the word so that I could see it. And I was really happy that he understood that I really wanted to learn the terminology. So then he said, "Well, I can give you a quote for what that will be. And then you can go home and look at it. And if you decide you want that, you can make an appointment for that." I said, "Oh, no, I know I need it." Yes, give me the quote, but I know I need it. And I'd like to make an appointment for that. And he's like, "Okay, but you can go home and look at the quote." I'm like, "Yeah, this is something that I absolutely need." And so I thought it was a little bit strange because I think there was not this idea of selling or upselling stuff that sometimes you can get at dentist offices in the United States. So I got the quote for the mouth guard. There's a portion that my health insurance card, my carte vitale, will cover. And there's a portion that I will be on the hook for. And so when I came home, I asked my mutuelle supplementary insurance how much of that they would cover. And they came back with a big fat zero. However, it was 150 euros that I'm on the hook for. And that's about 175 US dollars. And I have spent $500 on mouth guards in the United States. So $175 seems pretty good to me. So I decided to get that. And today I had my appointment to have the molds of my teeth taken so they could make that for me. And I'll tell you what a difference 1 week makes. I was not nervous at all. I was calm. I was clear-headed. And the doctor seemed friendly. Now, I think that my being out of my element the first go around, my being a little bit anxious the first go around, probably colored my whole experience, my whole first experience, because I came in and the office seemed so very white, so very sterile. And the second time, that was not my impression. The dentist even had this bright teal blue smock on. It was a pretty color that, really made me feel like, oh, this isn't so bad at all. I am curious, when have you had an experience where you felt out of your element and it caused you to really dig down and grow personally? I know this was an experience for me. Being here 4 years, this was a new experience for me that brought me back to that state of feeling like I was a child again, doing something for the very first time, like going to the store by myself for the first time or going to the swimming club by myself for the first time. So that was my experience going to the dentist here in France for the first and second time. Not a bad experience at all, just a little bit different from what I was used to in the United States. But my teeth are cleaner. I will have my mouth guard soon. And hopefully you learned something from this video. If you did, click the like button and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.